Hello everyone, welcome to day 2. It's the second round. You see it's round 11 and we are going to watch Simen Korzunov of Russia kicking off on the left hand side of your screen with an Inquisition of Kozilek up against French Pro Tour Theros runner-up Pierre Dagen. These players are both at 9 and 1. That Inquisition will see an Inquisition on the other side, indeed 2 of them, plus you will see Abrupt Decay and some Lingering Souls. So
yeah, Pierre Dagen has got a rock deck. I think the main deck is the same as the one Timothy Simen has piloted to 10-0. He's also in the feature match area. He's the current king of the hill. Jeremy Dazani's running the same list as well. They've had a lot of success. It is the rock deck, splashing white for Lingering Souls that we've been talking about, their take on that. Korzunov, on the other hand.
yeah.
Wow, well, we'll see if Dagen probably will cast that Inquisition and let us give you a look at some of what Korzunov is up to. I don't even have a name for this deck. I guess you just call it Loam. It is Life from the Loam. It is Seismic Assault, Life from the Loam. So you go get the lands, you discard them to Seismic Assault.
Deal 2 damage.
He's got Smallpox in this deck.
Wow.
He's got, yeah, he's got all kinds of crazy shenanigans. He's got Worm Harvest in this deck.
That was in Modern Masters, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, you dredge stuff into the graveyard, cast it from the graveyard. Pretty sexy little deck here. A spicy meatball, I think I'm supposed to call it.
Okay.
A very spicy meatball.
Well, let's see whether we do get a bit of red hot Inquisition action from Pierre. Yes, we do. All right, then. What have we got going on here? Well, we have a Bloodghast. We have a Liliana of the Veil. That's the normal card that you're seeing on screen right now. We have a land, and then we have Worm Harvest. Korzunov.
I gotta wonder what Pierre Dagen is thinking right now, looking at that Worm Harvest.
Yeah, Liliana of the Veil bites the dust.
Yeah, there is a bit of a retrace theme here. I mean, Korzunov, in addition to he's got a Flame Jab, in addition, and a 3 Raven's Crime in addition to the Worm Harvest.
Right. So slow and grindy.
Slow and grindy. Yes.
The order of the day.
It's sort of like dredge, the value dredge strategy, I guess.
Okay.
Needs the signature card to stitch it all together, though. You can really see how Life from the Loam, it's both the dredge to get the stuff into the graveyard, to cast the retrace cards. It's the card advantage engine, because you can pick up multiple lands, to use those for either retrace or Seismic Assault. Been working for him. He's obviously 9-1, so the deck has been effective so far.
Treetop Village is up on turn 2 for Pierre Dagen. At some point, that may become a 3-3 trampler. Meanwhile, Bloodghast comes down for Korzunov. And it's not that often that we would see Russia versus France in a North American GP.
True story.
But of course, that's the joy of a Grand Prix the week before a Pro Tour, where everyone from Europe is coming around. There was a moment late last night in the feature match area where I was sort of watching a group of people that were Frank Karsten, Raf Levy, Joel Larson, Ivan Flock, Matej Zatlkai, Guillaume Wafatapa. I'm like, oh, okay.
Gang's all here.
They really are. So Lingering Souls from Dagen. We now see that other Inquisition, and Inquisition goes away the other way. Is Lingering Souls a big deal for Dagen against what we think Korzunov is doing, in terms of just the fact it's one of the things that he gets to do more than once out of a single card? And that, you know, discard this, okay, I discard it, but at least I get to flash it back?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly seems good here. I cannot say I have a ton of experience with Rock versus, you know, Korzunov's deck. Certainly, though, the Flyers seem like Pierre Dagen has set up this game to race. He doesn't have much going on other than this, but.
And we really may
Korzunov doesn't have a Life from the. Oh, did he finally find Life from the Loam? He did. He finally found the Life from the Loam. Okay.
So we will have to make sure that that graveyard stays on screen.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be very important. You see a Flame Jab going to the graveyard there.
Interesting. He hasn't spilled any lands, though, right?
No.
So, I mean, this Life from the Loam.
The second one, maybe. Inquisition of Kozilek.
Okay.
Yeah, there was one. There we are.
So he's casting Life from the Loam just to get 1 land back.
Yeah.
Which I guess he's going to discard for Flame Jab.
Yeah. Retrace.
Flame Jabs. Yeah, the retrace ability, discard a land. He can cast that Flame Jab out of his graveyard. It's going to be a long slog to get through all those Lingering Souls tokens, but I mean, that's how the deck, we forgot to discard the land. Now he remembers to discard the land.
But he's around for the long haul.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is how this deck works. Now that he's got the life from the Loam, he can dredge every turn. He can pick up to 3 lands. And Dagen's just racing. Treetop Village gets in there, too. Yeah,
we
I
said
think Dagen wins this race, but... Yeah, there's life from the Loam.
So you get up to 3, so he was fine taking 1 last time.
I mean, he'd rather have more.
Yes.
Obviously. The retrace cards, if he had more lands, he could use the retrace ability to kill more of the Lingering Souls. Still only the 1 land, which means he can't afford to play it. Like last turn, he didn't play the land. He chose to discard it
to the Flame
Jab. The Flame Jab, which is what he's going to do again.
And then in comes Bloodgust. If you're thinking, why doesn't it stay back? Well, Bloodgust can't block, and anyway, they fly, the Lingering Souls.
Treetop doesn't fly, but
no.
Bloodgust still can't block.
Wouldn't be a great blocker against Treetop Village either.
Also
just the
true.
1 toughness.
His red mana should be tapped from the Flame Jab, right? Cast from your graveyard by discarding a land in addition to paying its other costs.
Yeah.
2 mana for the Loam. I don't think it really matters, Pierre, but... I mean, the multiple Flame Jabs a turn is pinched not only on having to have lands to discard, but these cost are. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Dagen still looks like he's winning this race. And Dark Confidant as well. Cannot spill any lands. Yeah, Simen scoops him up. Kind of an awkward draw. Found the life from the Loam maybe a little later than he wanted to, and the dredge just really didn't cooperate to give him the lands he needed to get his card advantage engine turned on. So Dagen with that 1 Lingering Souls, the whole game was basically that 1 Lingering Souls, creating 4 different 1/1 flyers.
Yep. We said we thought it could be of issue. We will see both these players in action next weekend at Pro Tour Magic 2015. It is August 1st through 3rd. In Portland, Oregon, in the United States, which is where we are right now, for Standard Constructed, which we know a fair amount about, but we have the edition of Magic 2015, and then Magic 2015 Booster Draft, which is fresh off the presses, and a lot. Talking yesterday, Randy, had a chance to chat with a lot of guys, away from the microphone. A lot of people who would say they know Limited, don't yet feel they know M15.
Okay.
I feel it's not exactly schizophrenic. They didn't quite put it like that, but they were saying there are lots of obvious synergies.
Right.
That do what they say.
Yep.
But then slightly disappoint that what they do is what they say.
Interesting.
And so there may be an element of decks that look like you can look at the pile and go, yeah, I have all those synergies. I am playing the blue guy that gets bigger because I have a swamp. Or I have the black guy that can deal damage because I'm playing red. And it's all neat and tidy and it all works well together. And then it doesn't quite gel.
Well, I think it's just, it doesn't have the sort of loud archetypes that a lot of the expert level sets have had. I mean, core set Magic has always been a little more block and tackle. I mean, I'd almost say vanilla, except some people think that's an insult. I like block and tackle Magic. I think that it's sort of the most pure version of Limited for me. I've always thought core set draft is a great format, and this one seems similar in that regard. There's some stuff going on, but there's also just, the colors doing what the colors are supposed to do, and that works out pretty well.
Well, we are heading for a live look-in. It's game 2 between Denis Miasukov and Timothée Simonot, World Magic Cup champion, of course, from France. Miasukov is 1 up. And not only is he undefeated in this event, he's actually not just the 10-0 as it were here. He didn't actually play 10 matches today. That's because he played 5 matches yesterday, and the day before on Friday, and won a trial.
Oh, he was one of the mono reds. I've been saying there were two mono reds that won trials.
He was.
I didn't realize he was one of those guys.
So there you go.
That makes sense. So that got him 2 buys.
Yep.
And then he won 7 matches yesterday. So he's 12-0 instead of 10-0. That's your story?
So he's 13. 5 on Friday.
Yeah.
7 yesterday.
Oh, and the one this morning.
And the one this morning.
Absolutely.
So he's 13-0 with burn.
Nice.
That's a lot of points of pain. 3, 3, 3. As we see Eidolon of the Great Revel.
Burn should be pretty good against this rock deck too, right? The rock deck is kind of slow and grindy. He's going to get all the draw phases he needs to draw 20 points.
Yep,
if that Treetop Village looks familiar, I think it's because Simen is playing the same list that we're also watching in our main match.
Yep.
In the hands of Pierre Dagen.
Yeah, we think there's a couple of sideboard cards out between the 3 of them, but fundamentally it's 225 cards, all the same.
The two being, the third guy being Dagen.
Yes, sorry.
Did he win the first round? Did we hear?
I did not see. And he's not someone that you can do the body language check with, like some people are. He never looks super happy, win or lose, when he's away from the table. When he wins at the table, you know he's won.
You can tell when he loses at the table, too.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, he had a horrible end to yesterday against Stanislav Sivka. Looked to have the game wrapped up, and then ended the game with 5 black-green lands and 3 lingering souls in hand. But as he shrugged this morning, happens, and now off we go again. All the tie breaks reset, of course, here on day 2. So a straightforward, you keep winning and you will get all the way to the top 8. Dagen did win his first round of the day. He is at 8 and
1 down, 5 to go.
Therefore, yep.
Or
up against Jake.
1 down, 6 to go, really.
Yes, because what Randy's talking about there is that you need Dagen needs to make the top 4 to improve his point total for the season. Currently stuck, air quotes, on 71, 1 point ahead of Reed Duke. Only a top 4 finish can change that math before Pro Tour Magic 2015 in Portland. So a lot of the action in this match is centered top left of the screen in Denis Myasukov's graveyard, because he's going to cast spells and then put them there. And you're not seeing double as a result of your Saturday night. That is not 1 but 2 Tarmogoyfs coming down in a very efficient use of mana for Timotei Simen.
Yeah, those will hit pretty hard. See that Simen took last turn to kill the Eidolon of the Great Revel, so that those Tarmogoyfs wouldn't sting on the way down.
Yeah. Sting badly.
Let him use his mana pretty efficiently, too. I like this line. Korzunov in the lower right, you can see they've drawn their opening hands. Is he keeping? Yeah, he's keeping.
All right, we're in business with Simen Korzunov against the Lingering Souls merchant Pierre Dagen. There you see the 2 players. Get a glimpse in the background of Simen against Myasukov.
See if we get a better draw from Korzunov. I kind of want to see his deck do his thing, you know? Is that Bow of Nylea in his hand? I think it might be.
Wow.
There's 1 in his sideboard. Korzunov knew the Inquisition was coming. Handed over his hand. Yeah, Bow of Nylea. Is that a Batterskull, a Chandra, a Maelstrom Pulse, and a Seismic Assault?
Yeah, Chandra Pyromancer, Maelstrom Pulse. Yep.
Only the second land and no life from the Loam. So he can't actually cast any of the cards in his hand right now. Which always makes it tricky for Dagen. It's like, okay, once you can cast cards, What do I not want you to have? I guess the bow can pick off Lingering Souls tokens. Is that its job here? Gain life too? Seismic Assault obviously does a lot of work once he gets life from the Loam with some lands. But that's not anywhere in sight, so yeah, he just takes the Maelstrom Pulse. Makes sense. I'm guessing Korzunov is not going to crack his fetch land. No, he just wants to draw more land. Now Dagen's got to figure out what to do now. Yeah, Korzunov's draw needs help, clearly. Yeah, Dagen makes a Confidant.
New Dark Confidant.
I do think Korzunov drew a land last turn, so now it is time to crack the fetch. Presumably he's going to get a comes into play tapped land now while he doesn't have to pay life for it.
Yep. In general this weekend, I haven't noticed a lot of matches where the life on lands coming into play untapped has been a significant factor in a lot of matches, but traditionally Modern is a format where that is considered to be true, that you can, part of the reason that burn is viable.
Yeah, Miazatov. You watch Miazatov for a while, you'll see that lands
count.
That'll sting.
Yeah.
Does he go, is this going to be land Seismic Assault? And then if he drew another land, he can kill Bob. I can still call him Bob, right? Even with that art?
That is fine.
Okay.
It's the spirit of Bob.
Got it. Yeah, there's the Seismic Assault, so now he can discard lands for 2 damage, and yes, he did in fact draw running lands.
Bye-bye, Bob.
I'm sure Dagen is saying a few French curse words in his own head. Because he Inquisitioned, he knows now that both draw phases. He saw a hand with 2 mana and a bunch of three casting cost spells.
Yeah, don't draw a land.
Yeah, Korzunov went runner lands. And now Seismic Assault is in play.
So, Thoughtseize up.
None of those spells can be cast. With his current lands, can't cast the Chandra, doesn't have the second green for the bow, and he's too short. So Dagen takes the thing he's most likely to be able to cast next. Also, probably the thing that impacts this game the most in Chandra.
Yeah. So the Russian passes. That Seismic Assault, of course, you can discard the land card at any time. It's not a sorcery speed effect or anything, so if he has land, there's no reason to do it right then and there.
So Korzunov, which I didn't notice which fetch land he had, but he got a black-red land and paid the 2 life in order to do the Seismic Assault, leaving him without double green. Wow, here's another Thoughtseize. Dagen just ripping his hand apart. Was a Marsh Flats, so he could not get a Stomping Grounds with it, even if he wanted to.
So now we see it terminate. Additional to the pile. That goes away. And now here is Planeswalker time. Liliana.
Speaking of ripping his hand apart.
Yeah, Thoughtseize, Liliana up, discard.
Discarding a Lingering Souls for Dagen. So he'll be able to flash that back and get the tokens. Korzunov discards that bow that he doesn't have the double green for. Yeah, double green seems a little tricky in his list. Guess he's got 4 Raging Ravines. He's got 1 Stomping Grounds. He didn't have another one of those anyway. Could have gotten an Overgrown Tomb, but that wouldn't have made the red mana that he needed for the Seismic Assault. So,
right.
Yeah, kind of an awkward spot land-wise.
Yeah, Seismic Assault is what we call a bit of an investment
in
the color. It's like red, red, red. Not the sort of thing a blue, white, red control player can aspire to. So the dice on top, the 4 is not significant. It is merely an aide-memoire, as they say in France.
Anger of the gods.
Oh,
Jeez.
wow. He really doesn't want Dark Confident happening.
I mean, Dagen got 1 extra card, but...
Yeah.
Or no, he did. No, he didn't. He just played it, right?
Not with that one, no.
No, he didn't get any extra cards, right?
Liliana.
So Dagen is empty-handed, but with a Liliana?
Mm-hmm. At 5. Dagen will complete his land search. And then we will see some more Liliana of the Veil action.
Yeah, Korzunov without the signature card. He really needs the life from the Loam. That's where he was last game. Until he drew it, he needed it. And then when he did draw it, he needed to kind of dredge well. But here, Liliana has just ripped his hand apart because he's kind of only got 3 lands. He's drawn 4, but of course had discarded 1 to the Seismic Assault to kill a Bob.
And now Pierre Dagen says it's time to get busy with Treetop Village.
Yeah, and Liliana's ultimate is kind of threatening here too.
Yep, separate permanents into 2 piles. It's not a lot of permanents to have.
Top decks a land and points it straight at Liliana. He doesn't really want that ultimate to go off.
Yeah, but she's not a million miles away, even so. We're going to probably see a repeat of last turn. We are. Here's Treetop Village. Come in. Korzunov will go down to 10. Liliana will tick up. There is nothing to discard, but that doesn't matter. The counter is what goes on. Here we go with another land.
Yeah,
Let's
now
put Liliana to 3.
Look how good Life from the Loam would be for Korzunov. Pick up multiple lands.
Yep.
To either kill Liliana or kill Treetop. Realistically, kill Liliana, then kill Treetop. Needs to draw it very quickly, though, because the Treetop Village is not going to give him a lot more time.
Okay.
Oh,
so
Tech Edge.
Tectonic Edge.
That does it.
Yeah, you
down goes Treetop.
Don't bother playing it. This time you get much better value just by putting it into play and killing off the village. Here is Dark Confident number 3 for Dagen. But
lands?
Any land is enough. Oh, okay.
Abrupt Decay.
That also gets rid of Dark Confident.
Oh, that's a big one.
Big Tarmogoyf.
That is a big boy. He slow peels the draw. Needs to be a good one. Just a land.
Hit Liliana down to not quite. Tarmogoyf will come in. Korzunov looking at a very big graveyard.
Big. I mean, it's 2 hits from killing him.
They're just... Yes, it's not going to quite deal 7 in one go. But it has to be like 5, 6?
Creature, instant, sorcery, lands.
And...
Is there a Planeswalker?
There's enchantment.
There's an enchantment and an artifact. Oh, the bow. Is there a Planeswalker also? So it's a 7? It's 1 hit?
It's actually just kill you.
It got to 7? Is there a Planeswalker? Yeah.
Yes.
7.
Boom.
1 hit.
Crunch. Scales. And that's the end. Outstanding stuff.
Wow.
Pierre Dagen goes to 10 and 1.
That Bow of Nylea sideboard plan was terrible. It was +2 to Tarmogoyf.
Oh. Yep. And that's
both the enchantment and the artifact.
That is clearly the lesson. Clearly the lesson. Don't play Bow of Nylea in Modern. Just watch what will happen to you. Documented evidence. All right, so Pierre Dagen goes to 10 and 1. His teammate with the same list, Jeremy Dezani, is still playing, and he is currently at 8 and 2 here.
And his other teammate, Simen.
Yep, he's on the far side of the table right now, and he.
Okay, Korzunov's draws were kind of mediocre there. Felt like he had 10 turns to draw Life from the Loam, which immediately turns everything on. If he draws Life from the Loam, his Seismic Assaults become ridiculous. He gets to start the Dredge engine. Yeah. Any Life from the Loam while they were in top deck mode, it literally 10 turns where I think Life from the Loam would have instantly won him the game.
Yeah. So we're into game 3 in Denis Myasukov against Timotei Simen, and we have a Grim Lavamancer in play for Myasukov. 1 burn spell by the looks of things has already occurred. Liliana of the Veil is going to tick down to kill off the Grim Lavamancer, and one would think act as some kind of, no pun intended, lightning rod for some kind of burn spell. We're going to see Boros Charm end of turn for Mirsikov.
Yeah.
He's going
He's not
upstairs with
redirecting.
that.
No redirects.
That's straight upstairs, for sure. We'll get you live totals as soon as we can on this one, but we're early enough that we have a good sense that Timotei Simenov's not quite dead yet. He's got double Maelstrom Pulse in hand. You can see.
He's sacked to fetch land, so I'm going to guess he's on 12.
Yeah. And now we go full screen with this one. You'll see the third game in its
14.
entirety. If we can get another game onto our front tables, we will, of course. 2 other players in the feature match area this round. Mike Sigrist is up against Frank Karsten. They're playing at 8-2 right now, still live for top 8. And also Rafael Levy, another Hall of Famer, against Anand Kare of the United States. Skullcrack. And then Inquisition says, I have a Shard Volley, a Bump in the Night, and a Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, it's pretty obviously the Lightning Bolt. But yeah, here's another Inquisition. Takes the bump, leads him with the Shard Volley.
And now here is Scavenging Ooze. How much difference does that make against Burn?
It helps. I mean, it is relevant. They're usually dealing pretty close to exactly 20.
Right.
I mean, this game seems more about the hand destruction. I mean, the Inquisitions just, 2 Inquisitions which saved him 6 life, right?
Yes. When you're playing against Burn, do you think of the things you're doing as sort of in brackets, I gain 3 life, I gain this life? Is that sort of a way of approaching it against Burn, functionally?
Yeah.
So this is the last match of the round. Karsten Sigrist is done. Levi Kari is done.
Can we get results from those other games? Is that possible? I don't think Marshall's listening to me. I was wondering if we get results from those other matches. If only there was some sort of scorekeeper that kept track of these things. So who's thinking about what here? Miyazatov's turn.
Sacred Foundry tapped. That was the excitement.
It's very exciting. Oh, he's going to try to take out the Scavenging Ooze.
Yeah.
Waits for upkeep.
To give Simeno as little wiggle room on mana as possible.
Yeah, but he could have done it. Was there green mana untapped? I guess there's not a creature anyway.
It's gone. Land for Simeno off the top. Are we once again going to see Treetop Village action? Certainly been very prominent this round. Temple Garden into play, tapped. And for 3 mana, a backup Ooze. This time, there is a creature in the graveyard.
Yep.
It's Scavenging Ooze.
Oh, funny. Yeah, there was that Grim Lavamancer from before, but Simeno decided not to eat it with the Scavenging Ooze that was destined to die because he preferred to eat it with the one that he knew he was going to be playing main phase. Meanwhile, Liliana ticks up. Simeno's the only one who has to discard, but that Maelstrom Pulse wasn't doing much for him, so he's happy to get the extra counter onto Liliana.
Yeah, and the Scavenging Ooze this time goes to 4, and that's a big deal against Burn.
Well, goes to 4. if he untaps. It's currently 3.
Yeah.
I don't know if Myazatov drew a lightning bolt, but even if he did, not convinced you kill the Scavenging Ooze. You might just need to be playing to take out Simeno's 9 life with 3 spells. I don't know. The Ooze sending Simeno to 10 is relevant. Certainly edge here seems to be with Timothy Simeno. Oh, these guys are 9-1, so Simeno did not win last round. Or is our standings wrong?
Yeah, I don't believe that's true. I believe these are the 10 and 0s.
Okay. That makes more sense. Yeah, no, these are the 10 and 0s. The records we have on the board are just wrong. Which means this is also the King of the Hill match. All right, Treetop and Scavenging Ooze. Goblin Guide reveals Fulminator Mage. Went straight at Simeno. He's just ignoring Liliana.
That Fulminator Mage could be really pretty impressive. I mean, if any deck's going to function off 1 mana, it would be Burn. But
it really needs 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, yeah, Liliana's going to kill the Goblin Guide. Treetop and Scavenging Ooze only need 2 more. This attack and 1 more.
So Myasatov now in trouble. Although Simeno is at 7, which is the kind of tantalizing range where you might feel, oh, not impossible. But as we say, here is Fulminator Mage putting Myasatov down to just 1 permanent.
Yeah, Myazatov's only got one top deck. I don't know how he wins here.
No.
Extends the hand.
Job done. Timotei Simeno wins the match. There you see at the feature match area.